have a friend of mine who has been a friend since I was 17 and she was 14. She has 2 kids. One of the children is here in the audience, as a matter of fact. And this lifelong friend of mine lived right downstairs and across the hall. Well, one day their refrigerator died. Her husband, Mike, was one of the best fish cutters in all of New England. He was from a 3rd-generation family from Sicily of fish cutters, and it was great. So it was time to get a new refrigerator, and she sent Mike to go get a refrigerator with an honest-to-God freezer. They had had this little teeny fridge with the freezer sort of tucked inside. They were going to get an honest-to-God, great big refrigerator. In a few days it was delivered, and they went to the nearby grocery store and they bought hundreds of dollars of food. Everything from soup to nuts, fish, chicken, beef, sodas, cold cuts, oranges and apples, bananas and celery and carrots and tomatoes, and then there were the eggs. Now this family liked the jumbo eggs. They didn't like any other size because it was just too puny an egg for them. We didn't know from cholesterol back then. This was pre-cholesterol. So she starts loading up the eggs in the refrigerator, and it has those 2 rows of little egg pockets for the eggs. And she said, my God, I've suffered for so many years. I finally got my eggs in my refrigerator, and it's beautiful. She put in 1 row of eggs, no problem. She went to put in the 2nd row of eggs, and it wouldn't fit. She was getting really upset. So we tried everything we knew how to make them fit. I don't know, maybe you could only take up to a large or a small, or I don't know. The jumbos were not making it in this refrigerator. So we left them in the cardboard carton and just put them on a shelf. Mike came home from the docks, and he comes in, this big Sicilian man, and the wife is explaining to him, the eggs don't fit in the refrigerator, I'm very upset. And he understood. So he was going to go back to the store and see if he could get one that would hold a bigger egg. I said to them before he left, why don't you hard boil an egg? Make it really hard so that you can bring the egg to the store and show the guy how it doesn't fit. They thought that was a really good idea. Well, Mike went to clean up. He smelled like fish. So he went to clean up, and he would be ready in 15 minutes. And the wife, Regina, is boiling an egg. And it seemed to only be in the water for 1 minute. And I saw her drying the egg off. And I said, no, honey, you want to leave it in there for longer than a minute. You don't want a soft-boiled egg. And she shakes it by her ear and says, oh, no, it's hot as a rock, hot as a rock. So she's deaf. Okay, so fine. She gives the egg to her husband, Mike, and says, it's very hot, it's all done. Go get me a bigger egg thing. So Mike said, if my wife says it's a hard-boiled egg, it's a hard-boiled egg. And shaking it by my ear is a waste of time. So he drove off to the store, and the guy was explaining to him how they're all the same way. Mike put his hand in his pocket to get the egg out, and he felt like someone had just blown their nose in his pocket, and he had a handful of it. So while the salesman is going on and on about how the X-large might fit, but the large would surely fit, and they're all made that way, and none of them are different, and it's the same thing, and that's just the way Sears designed their refrigerators, and there was nothing we could do. Mike wasn't listening anymore because at this point, he was picturing his wife with a great big black eye. And he had one hand in his pocket. He had this light peach-colored jacket, and the egg was soaking right through. And so here's the salesman trying to get him to buy a stove, and Mike just turns on his heel, leaves the store. He never took that hand out of his pocket. He drove all the way home, and when he got home, took his hand out of his pocket and just threw what was in his hand on his wife. And told her, from now on, you're going to have to buy a large egg. And I said to her, you only boiled it a minute. She didn't care. It was done. He had delivered it.